Don't make the mistake of making these mistakes when you're buying cards on eBay. Happy hobby. I'm David Gonos, and if you're a sports card collector and you're working with a limited budget, well, that's what we talk about in this podcast, on this video series. This series is the Bad Moves series. This is the finale. This is number 5 of 5. Mistakes when buying cards on eBay. These are the 5 mistakes that I think a lot of people make when they're buying cards on eBay that they should be cautious of. They should think about these things, especially new collectors. Now, when I say new collectors, we've done 5 videos. This is the 5th one. The first one was 5 mistakes that new card collectors make. And then we did one on 5 mistakes comeback collectors make. People coming back after 20, 30 years from not collecting cards, and now they are. So we did a series, we did a video on that. And then the third one we did was mistakes people make when they're sending in cards to get graded. 5 mistakes on that one. And then the fourth one we did was 5 mistakes people make when they're selling cards on eBay. So this one goes with that one really tightly, but it's buying cards on eBay. This is a really tricky one because there's a billion tips. There's a lot of different things that you could learn about when trying to buy sports cards on eBay. But we're going to give you 5. And we're going to give you 5 that I think are pretty good ones, pretty major ones that you should really be cautious of. So let's get right into it. The first one, I think a lot of people don't understand what the true cost of a card is. Sounds kind of weird, right? Doesn't it say the price? It says it right there. So here's the thing. A lot of people see a card. We hear about flippers all the time. Oh, I'm going to buy this card on eBay, a raw card. I'm going to send it into PSA or to SGC or whatever. I'm going to get it graded. I'm going to then sell that card for a massive profit. So here's where some of the problem lies. The true cost of a card is the price that you end up buying it at, whether it's an auction or a buy it now or best offer or whatever. But the true cost is the price plus taxes. You have to pay taxes on that card, plus the shipping from the eBay seller to yourself. Now, in some cases, it's free shipping. But let's be honest, free shipping is never really free shipping. It's just baked into the price. So shipping is a cost. And then, well, if you're going to grade it, now you have to pay for that card to ship to the grader. You have to pay the $20 to $25 to get it graded. You have to pay the grader to ship it back to you. And then you have to list it. And then when you list it, you have to put, supplies and stuff to go with it when you ship it back out. But in the end, a lot of times it's smarter to, instead of buying a card raw, to then get graded, because you don't know, when you're buying a raw card, you don't really know exactly what that grade's going to end up being. If you have it in person, you have a little better idea what the surface is like, are the corners are they really sharp or are they soft? A lot of times the photos don't really help with that. But when you do buy it raw and you get it back to send out grading, it oftentimes doesn't get the grade that you want. Now, if you pull one out of a pack, that's a little different because you see it. You have it right there. But when you're buying them raw, you have an idea. You see it, and you have an idea what the grade's going to be. But, again, you don't know. And a lot of times, some of the raw cards that you're getting at this day and age, especially if you're buying like vintage or a card from a year or two ago, a lot of times, if it's a really good card, a lot of times these are cards that have already been sent in to get graded, and they got a grade that they didn't like. Maybe they got a PSA 8 and they didn't like it, so they cracked it out, and now they're selling it raw, which you'd think would be around the same price, except what happens is it's a little more valuable because now there's value baked in where people think they might be able to get a PSA 10 on this card, for instance. So people might pay a little more of a price because they think that possibility of getting a PSA 10. So the point being, you could be buying an already pre-graded card that came back not a PSA 10. Okay, so what I'm getting at is here. Think of what figure the worst case scenario. If you see a card and it looks centered, corners look sharp. This is the ultra modern we're talking about, recent years. Centered, great, looks beautiful, great eye appeal, all this good stuff. Pretend it's going to be a PSA 9 if you send it in to get graded. So find out what the cost of a PSA 9 card, of that raw card, what a PSA 9 version of that card is. And it's very possible, maybe even likely, that the price of that PSA 9 card plus shipping to you is going to be cheaper than the true card price of you buying the raw card, of you shipping it to yourself, getting it, shipping it to a grader, getting it graded, and then getting it shipped back to you. It's very possible that the PSA 9 is a better deal than paying all this, and think of all the time that you save otherwise. So you could just buy a PSA 9 at a better price most often. Now you just have to be happy with the PSA 9 because now you've eliminated any opportunity for a PSA 10. But again, unless you are buying a brand new card, like a card that just came out within the past couple months, that doesn't really have a chance to get graded and then come back as a different grade and then get cracked out. Like say it's, they're not going to spend $100 to get this thing express graded, right? So unless that's the case, now that's a different situation. But just think of, you can buy a PSA 9 possibly cheaper than buying it raw and doing all this other stuff. And for vintage, you can look at, maybe it's a PSA 5 or maybe it's a PSA 4 or whatever it is. But the odds are, the other thing too is when you're looking at older cards, it could be trimmed, could be altered in some ways. So you just have to be careful, but really thinking about that true cost of the card versus if you bought the graded version of that card. So that's the first mistake a lot of people make when they're buying cards on eBay. The second mistake, not paying attention to the details in the description or in the listings, the titles themselves on eBay. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, I wanted to buy a Jacob Mizorowski card and I ended up buying a Jacob Wilson. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about seeing the little details in the listings that can give you a better idea if you're throwing money away or if you're buying something you didn't mean to buy. So for instance, if there's an RP in the listing, maybe it's a Nolan Ryan card. Oh, look at that Nolan Ryan card. What a deal. But you see there's RP in the listing. RP stands for reprint, which doesn't make sense because reprint's only one word. So where's RP? I don't know how that, two letters for one word, RP, means reprint. So unless you're trying to buy reprints, which I've done, I have some right here of Mickey Mantle reprints that I've purchased. There's nothing wrong with that. You can buy reprints, but it's only if you're planning to buy a reprint do you want to do that. So RP, reprint, be careful with that. Also digital. It says digital in the listings or in the title or in the description. That's a big key too. A lot of times we see stuff, it'll be an autograph. It'll be Paul Skeen's rookie autograph for a great deal. Yeah, I want that. That's for me. But then if you didn't really notice in the description or in the listings, it says digital. What that means is it's from MLB Bunt, the app that Topps uses, Topps MLB Bunt. And they have digital cards on there. And a lot of people collect digital cards, which is cool. I have no problem with that. That's a cool thing. However, a lot of people sell some of their big hits. It's an app. Like there's no physical card to go with the app. So they'll sell their big hits on eBay and they'll just put digital in it. And other people buy the hits plausibly, apparently, I guess. So if they're putting digital, that's the tip off to you and that's the tip off to them. People will search buy digital cards to buy digital cards. But if you're not searching digital and you just type in Paul Skeen's rookie card and it comes out auto and it comes back and it's got one of these digital autos at a great price and you don't really catch the digital part of it, then that's no good. Another thing people do is they'll sell breaks. A lot of eBay sellers do breaks on eBay. So you think you're buying a hobby box at a really good price. But then you realize it's just a one team in that break. So you're thinking you got a great deal for $30 on a hobby box. You should know better too. Eventually you learn these little things like, okay, too good to be true. Yeah, it's too good to be true. There's got to be a reason. What's going on here? That's you'll learn that. You start to pick up on stuff like that. It's a chance at a break. It's in a break. They do other stuff too, like there's things called razzes where you get a chance at one of these cards. I don't even know if they still do that on eBay or not. It's pretty sketchy. I'm not crazy about that at all. Another thing you got to be careful about when you're talking about the listings and the titles is when it says read or see in the listing. So when it says that, beware, because they're telling you right off the bat, hey, this is the card, but you got to read the description because there's something I can't really explain in this little short 80 character line. I've got to explain it in the description what's wrong with the card. So it could be something like, let's say 1972 Topps Julius Erving card, and it's for $100. And Julius Dr. J rookie card for $100, but it says read on it. So then you go read the description, and it says, oh yeah, there's a huge crease in it, and you can't really see it in the pictures, but it's damaged, and I dropped it in a puddle of water, and all this other stuff, whatever it is. But they're telling you, look, I'm not trying to pull one over on you. I'm just telling you there's a problem with the card. That's why I said read, and here's the problem with the card. So that's good. That's a good thing to show. But when you're just flying through listings and you're just shopping and wondering what you should buy next, and you see a great deal, a lot of times we don't see those things. That's why I say this is one of the big things, not paying attention to the details in the description. Okay, the number 3 mistake a lot of people buying cards on eBay make is they're not reading the feedback for the seller. Sellers get ratings. They show a number that shows how many sales they did on eBay, and they show a number, it's their percentage of positive feedback that people have given about them. So first you want to see that the feedback rating is, you want to see that they've sold multiple things. You don't want to see a 1-digit number or even a 2-digit number. Make sure they've sold over 100 things. And you can even go and see the feedback. You can go in and see the feedback if you're spending more than $10 on a card. Go check out their feedback, especially if it's not at 100%. Check their feedback, see what the negative reviews were, because it could be something that you don't really care about. It could be something, oh, the guy, he didn't ship it within a day or something stupid. Oh, there's a lot of stupid people out there. There's a lot of stupid people. You'll find out. Sellers, buyers, all of them. A lot of stupid people. So you just have to be careful with stuff like that. Read the feedback. See, and do some, judging yourself. You read the feedback. You say, is that something that would make me mad if it happened to me? A. And then B, is it a soul, like it only happened once and he's got 2,000 sales on here and he only has one bad feedback, or 100, 200 sales and has one bad feedback? Then you look at that feedback and you try to determine, okay, is that something I can live with, or is that a deal breaker? So I'll tell you this. There's been many times I've gone to buy a card that I thought, it's listed a little cheaper than other cards. Gone to buy the card and saw that the feedback was under 99%. When it's under 99%, I'm checking it out, especially if the amount of sales is not very big. If it's a big amount of sales, 98% still, it shows us there's been people complaining about this stuff. So 98 and under, I'm definitely checking it out. Reading the negative feedback. Was it recently, or was it like 2 years ago? Was it, do they have 3 bad feedbacks in the past 6 months? Do they have 2 bad feedbacks in the past 6 months? What are those feedbacks? Is it about cards? They could be selling car parts, but they also happen to sell some cards. And maybe the complaint about the car part, it has nothing to do with what you would complain about for a card. If they, did something with the card. So there's been many times when I've backed out of a deal, or not, at least not purchased, because I see there's feedback saying something like, hey, this guy shipped me a card and a card saver in an envelope, not protected. That's no good. You don't want that, because the guy doesn't care about the cards. He's just shipping stuff out. He's selling it and shipping it out. Doesn't care about your card. I got a card one time in an envelope, and it was just in a card saver. And by the time I got to it, it was warped like that. It was Justin Verlander rookie card. It was warped like that. It's horrible. So I had to complain to him. I was like, buddy, I need a refund. I'll send this back to you. There's no unwarping it. You can't unwarp a card. Actually, I got some warped cards here in a break recently. Look at that. Look at the warp on that thing. You cannot unwarp it. When you go to unwarp it, there's a crease, because now the paper's been stretched. That card will never come back to true. So that's not good. Thankfully, they're PC cards, and it's a funny, interesting story. The breaker took care of me. It's no big deal. But for feedback, if you see stuff like that, you want to be careful. I've seen people who say they complain that I bought this card. The guy never, it took 2 weeks. Finally, I asked him where my card is. He never replied. A week or two went by. Finally, I got the card in the mail a month later. So can you live with that? Can you deal with that? That the guy, there's no communication? You should definitely be careful about buying from people that don't communicate. If you see in the feedback that they're not communicative, that's no good, because if you have a problem with your card, say they ship it to you, and by the time it gets to you, maybe there's damage in the post office. Maybe there was damage with something, and you got to let him know. If he's not communicative, you're sitting on a bad card. Now you got to do a refund process through eBay, and that's no fun. The fourth thing that you have to be careful with, mistakes people make when buying cards on eBay. Buying cards with the wrong titles. Earlier, remember I said the listings. You got to be careful with reading the details in the description and then the listings. But now I'm just talking about buying cards with the wrong titles. What this means is you just have to do a little research. So they might have listed a rookie card when it wasn't their rookie card. So they might put a card with the rookie cup. Say it's Andre Dawson. 1977 is his true rookie card. But they put a 1978 Topps Andre Dawson rookie card on the listing. But it's a rookie cup. He has an Topps All-Star rookie cup on there, which you would think that must be a rookie card. If you're not really super savvy with cards in the past 70 years, that might trick you into thinking that's his full-blown rookie card. For the record, that's a great card. It's still a cool card, but it's not his true rookie card, which came in 1977. Another one would be Carl Yastrzemski. If you search Carl Yastrzemski rookie card, as you see here, Carl Yastrzemski rookie card, you'll get two different versions. You'll get his 1960 Topps rookie card. That's a rookie card. But you'll also get listings with his 1961 Star rookie card. So that's a big difference. That's not his rookie card. That's his Star rookie card. So, to be fair to the lister, it is a Star rookie card. It's just not his true rookie card. So really that's more for the buyer to beware in this case. In other cases, like I said, they think a rookie debut card counts as his rookie card. Technically it does, but it's not his true rookie card. So you need to be careful with that. Some other things you need to be careful with is silver prism. Whenever you buy a card and you want to get the silver prism of that card, say it's football or basketball, and you want prism, and prism is the flagship set, but you want their silver. Those are really the ones that everybody wants to get because they're a little more rare. They're beautiful cards. They're iridescent, kind of like a refractor. So the silver prism holds much more value than just the regular card. a lot of times it's difficult to tell if it's a silver or not if you don't have them right next to each other, especially if you're looking at pictures of cards. Oftentimes you might just see it's listed as silver prism. Why would this guy lie to me? Then you get it, you got to turn around, ship it back, complain, you got to complain, ask for a refund, all that good stuff. So here's how you know if it's a silver prism rookie card. First, when you look at the card in the picture, it should give you you should see a little bit of a rainbow. Doesn't happen all the time, but you should see a little bit of a rainbow on that card because the photo, the flash from any light that's in the room is going to flash back or reflect back into the camera in a little bit of a rainbow effect. So that's the first thing. Second thing, which the second thing is much more easier than just going off the first thing. Second thing, look at the back of the card and then look at it compared to a non-silver. Find a card that's listed as a non-silver card. It wouldn't say non-silver, just say, prism, rookie card, and base. It might say base. Look at the backs of both, and you'll see one says prism in a spot that the other one does not say prism. So the one that says prism is the one that is the silver, is a prism silver. Why Panini does this, I don't understand. Why do you say prism instead of saying silver? Because first of all, the set is a prism set. So why are you putting prism on the back where a lot of people might misunderstand that as just the name of the set, right? Why wouldn't you put silver on the back so people know this is a silver? I don't know. Little things like that bug me. Drive me nuts a little bit. So those are kind of the ones that stand out to me. They can be helped. You can learn as you're buying, as you go through your collecting career. You'll learn certain things, but those can be helped. Another thing is you might see a picture of 5 cards, and you want to buy all of them. You think you're buying all of them, but really the seller is so dumb or lazy or whatever that they took one picture for 5 different cards, all in the same frame, and they're only selling one of those cards in the listing. So it might be, 5 different Paul Skeens cards, but they're selling the 2025 Topps Heritage card, which is only one card in the group. But you think you're getting all 5, because why would somebody have a picture of 5 cards and not be selling it? You have to watch that. You have to see, are they saying is it a lot? LOT is a lot of cards. If it's a lot, they're selling all 5, and that's good. Is it a quantity? Is it multiples? So you want to check for stuff like that. That'll definitely help you out. Number 5 thing, mistake people make when they're trying to buy cards on eBay. They misuse the best offer option. So if you're not familiar with eBay, you have auctions and you have buy it now. But you also have something called a best offer option that might be on either of those cards. It's not on, or either of those listings. It's not on all of them. It's only a thing when a seller is listing something. He might say, I will accept offers on this card. And he can then determine, he takes in all the offers, and he gets a time period, like 24 hours, I think 24, 48, I think 24 hours, to decide if he wants to accept the highest offer on that card. Or he could just not accept any of them and wait until somebody buys the card for full price, or until the auction ends. So this is really more about the best offer option for buy it now cards. But when you send a best offer, first off, to know that when they say best offer on there, they're already telling you, hey, I'll sell this for cheaper than I listed. Just so you know. This price is what I'm asking, but I'm hoping people will pay that price. But really, let me know what do you want to give me for it? That's what he's asking. So you hit the best offer button. Now he's told you what his ceiling is. This is what I'd like to get. This is my max. Now you can take that and that's some information that you have now. You can negotiate. Here's the misuse part. You can give him a 50%, say it's $100, buy it now. And he has best offers on there. and you say, I'll give you $50 for it. That's not good. Who's going to sell something that's $100 for $50? Nobody's doing that. So that just makes somebody mad. And you don't want to make somebody mad who's possibly going to send you something cool in the mail. You're going to be giving him money. So you don't want to do that. So you want to make an offer, but make a reasonable offer. Maybe it's 20% off. Maybe you send him an offer for $80, maybe $75. That's a reasonable bracket to shoot for. He may decline the offer. He may even have it set up to automatically decline it. Like a lot of times you can put a floor, like if it's not at this bid, like if in other words, if the best offer isn't $85, then just automatically reject it. So they can put that in there. So you'll know immediately, and it'll tell you like you have 3 offers left. You can only use 3 more offers. So don't blow it. So they can do that. So you want to get somewhere in that sweet spot where it's low enough for you to get a deal, but it's high enough for him to be like, I'll take that deal. So you don't want to go with a $50 lowball offer. You like to go somewhere 75, 80, just dipping your toes in the water, just checking the temperature on this thing. See what he says. He could come back, he could accept it right away. He could decline it right away. Or you could wait 24 hours, see if somebody else offers a high. Now, that's the other thing you have to worry about. Maybe this is a hot card and you're giving him an offer, but other people could give him a higher offer. He isn't going to accept yours. He's going to accept the higher offer. So if you really want that card, you either buy it now or you give him a little higher offer. So I think that's kind of one of those things where people misuse it. They don't understand it. They're a little eBay blind on something like that. But anyways, those are my 5 mistakes people make when they're buying sports cards on eBay. Like I said, this is number 5 of the Bad Moves series. Bad moves, man. So we had the new collectors, comeback collectors, cards getting graded. And then the 4th one, what was the 4th one? Selling cards on eBay and now buying cards on eBay. So that's 25 mistakes I've given you. If you haven't heard or listened to any of the other ones or watched the other ones, go back and check because they're right in a row. Boom, 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 boom. You can go back and look and watch those other videos or listen to the podcasts and you get caught up pretty quick. But I want to know from you, do you have some mistakes that I missed out on that you think are super important? Put them in the comments in the YouTube channel or just send them to me at gonoscards@gmail.com. And I'll read them off at some point. I love doing that. That's awesome. I appreciate that. So listen, if you make a mistake, here's the thing. Remember this. It's the last time you'll make that mistake. You just bought yourself a little education. That's all right. That happens, man. How do you think I learned a lot of these things? I bought stuff that I thought was a prism and it wasn't a prism, or I thought I bought a rookie card and it wasn't a rookie, or whatever. I've learned a lot of this stuff. So just revel in that. You bought a little education, and that's okay. Now you know. Whatever you do, make sure you have a happy hobby.